The purpose of this video is to show you how to create a graph and insert it into your formal investigative report. So on my screen right now, you can see that I have my data charts, both my quantitative data and my qualitative data. We want to make a graph of our quantitative data, our number data. So in order to do that, it's going to feel a little funny, but you want to go up to File and New, because we're actually going to make our graph in a different program. So File, New, and then pick the green one that says Spreadsheet. So click, and it might take a few minutes to kind of open up. But here we have our spreadsheet. Now you'll see lots and lots of boxes, but we only need a few for our purposes, okay? Now I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do this. If I were a 6th grade student watching this video, I would have this video up on one side of my screen and my formal investigative report up on the other side of my screen so that I could maybe pause this video and then do my steps for my data. Just a suggestion. Okay, so you can see in my lab report that I was testing underhand and overhand. And I need those two pieces of information to make this graph. So I'll start off by in cell A1 typing underhand. And then in cell A2 typing overhand. Now I need my totals. So the underhand total was 17, underhand 17, and the overhand total was 10. Perfect. Next, I need to select this data. Now there's a couple ways you can do it in Google Sheets. One way is to click in one of the cells, so click in A1, hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, and click in the last cell, which is B2. I know they're highlighted because they've turned to this blue color. That's one way that you can do this. Another way you could do it is to click in any of the cells, so let's say A1, and then drag your cursor until all of the cells are highlighted. Any way works, but you want to make sure that you've highlighted all 4 boxes. Once all 4 boxes are highlighted, you'll go up to Insert and click Chart. You'll see that it looks like a little bit of a bar graph chart. Now it might take a couple seconds to kind of generate because it's doing a lot of the work for you. So you see right now on my screen that the computer thinks that a pie chart might be what I want for this data. And that is a chart that I could use, but I think a bar graph is going to be easier for people to understand. So here where it says chart type, I want to drop that down and I'm going to change this to a column chart or a bar graph. I think that makes this easier to understand. Now I notice right now that my graph is missing a lot of the things that a good graph needs to have. It doesn't have a title right now. My axes don't have labels. So I'm going to show you how to fix that. So over here in this chart editor, you'll see 2 kind of categories. So we were just in setup, but the category that we'll need is called customize. So click on that. Basically, anything you need to do to your graph is in this customize area. So chart style, we've already done. We don't need that. But chart and axis titles, that's certainly what we need. So the first thing it defaults to is chart title. So let's give our graph a title. Maybe I do underhand versus overhand. Something just as simple as that. This is where 6th graders get stuck. When they're in the chart and axis titles section, sometimes they're like, well, I don't know how I add a title to or a label to my axis. I don't see that. Where it says chart title, you'll see a little drop down arrow. So you need to click the little drop down arrow. Then you're able to decide which you'd like to edit next. So I'm going to do the horizontal axis title. And I'm going to label this one type of throw. And there we go. Now I need to label my other axis. So again, I'll go up to this box with the little drop down arrow and pick vertical axis title. And this one's going to be the number of catches. Excellent. So now I have a title and I have labels for my different axes. The other thing that I can do is I can change the color. That's kind of fun. Blue. Let's see. I'm going to do a yellow. So to change the color, all I did was I clicked on the bar, the different bars of the bar graph, and it let me do that. Awesome. This is all that my chart really needs to have, that my graph needs to have. So I'll show you next how to get this into your Google Doc. So notice how my chart right now has these little blue boxes around it. That's good. That means that my chart is selected. So I just need to basically copy and paste this into my Google Doc. So here's what that would look like. I can either use a keyboard shortcut of Control-C, or I can go up to Edit, Copy. Okay. Next, I'll click into my Google Doc. Maybe I type the word graph to make sure it's really nice and organized. There we go. And then I need to paste it. I can either use the keyboard shortcut of Control-V or go up to Edit and Paste. Now it will ask you if you want to link it to your spreadsheet. That's fine. That just means that if you click on this in your Google Doc, it will take you to your sheet. So I'll just leave that checked. And then you can click Paste. Once it's in here, you can resize it if you'd like. You could center align it. And if you do need to edit anything, you could head back over to your sheet, but you would need to copy and paste it again if you make any changes. Hopefully this video was helpful in helping teach you how to turn your quantitative data into a graph on your lab report.